Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to go over a trade I took on gold last week and also called out in the community. I will show some screenshot or at least the Discord in a second. But I think it's a really good example of how you can frame a good trade, create narrative around it. And I'm going to do a full breakdown on what I was exactly looking at, which made me decide to take this trade. So this trade was on gold and it was last week on Monday. So on Monday, 15th of July, I was looking at this specific chart and I'm currently on the 4-hour chart. And what we can see over here, well, we can already see it like immediately, is that the trend is up. And I was looking for an entry to go to the previous week high. So my bias was bullish, and this was the buy side liquidity I wanted to target. So where's my buy side liquidity? It's not there in the templates. Let me add this. By the way, this is not TradingView. This is FXReplay, and this is a great tool to do backtesting, but also for what I'm using it for right now, just to make sure that I can do some like learning videos and explaining videos. And I think FXReplay is a really great tool for backtesting, but I'm currently only now showing you how I took this trade. But if you want, FXReplay also has a discount code. You can find the link in the description. That will give you actually 15% discount on your monthly or even a yearly subscription if you like. So yearly is already cheaper, but with 15%, it's even more. So let's get back to what I'm doing over here. So what I was looking for was this. We had previous week high. That was the buy side liquidity I wanted to target. But then I was looking like, all right, where can I find some sort of entry? Because we have this like swing wave going on. So a high, a low, and a high. But where to enter, right? How to frame a trade around this? Well, first of all, I noticed that the fair value gaps on the 4-hour, the bullish ones, were respected. So we had that one. Then we created another displacement candle, creating another fair value gap, also got respected. And I was looking at this specific candle. Whenever you see a bullish reaction of a fair value gap, and what do I mean with a bullish reaction? Well, some kind of candle that changes the state in delivery, like that, for example. So smashes through the high of that candle. That is a strong sign. So, and that's also a strong sign that this gap is respected. So we see that this is respected by the way it closes. So it only wicks in, closes above. And then we got that bullish candle. So that was an extra confirmation for me that that specific fair value gap got respected. And it should actually not come back to this low right now and first take some buy side liquidity. With this massive candle, we got another displacement. And that's where price started a little bit of consolidation. So on the lower time frames, I then zoomed in to see if this fair value gap and this order block would then hold. So when I came to the session, and that was in London, it was immediately like the opening session of the week. Let me see if we can get a chart here. It was hovering around that 4-hour fair value gap. But because it wasn't really like it was closing below, above, whenever it's consolidating within, I don't find it that valuable to use. So eventually I removed it from my chart. So now you also know when I remove fair value gaps, I think that's an important distinction. Then I was looking at, all right, let's look at the 15-minute, what is going on here? Well, we see actually that on the 15 minutes, we got a down move into that 4-hour fair value gap. And then we displaced higher again, change in the state of delivery now on a 15-minute time frame. So the same fractal going on. This was also on a 4-hour time frame somewhere on this order block. I think this was a 4-hour. So same change in the state of delivery and then started pushing higher. So now I was actually looking at, all right, where is my discount? Because we have a low and a high. That is my current dealing range. So I was looking at the dealing range, and then if you just place a fib on it, what do you see? Let me see if I can get this a little bit more. So in the top of the box, that's a premium. So you don't want to long in a premium. So I was looking at this specific area, the discount area. So whenever you're looking in a discount for a long, you want to look for PD arrays within that specific discount. So below this line, so let me mark it out like this, and then I'll remove the box. Below this line, I wanted to look for a long. Well, then I'm going to look for PD arrays in that discount. And on the 15-minute, I had this marked up. This was an inverted gap. So this is an IFVG, an inverted fair value gap. Why? Because this is a bearish fair value gap that got violated. Then was support once, and it can definitely be support twice. So I was waiting and waiting and waiting, of course, because we were still early in the session, and I wanted to see what was happening. And whenever I see things like this happening, I'm not longing this. I'm not, oh, this is a breaker, then long this. No, this is just some Asia thing, Asia liquidity, and it's not in a discount. The only thing that price is doing right now is creating buy side and more buy side and more buy side. It's just engineering liquidity. So engineering, engineering, engineering until it comes to a discount, and then it's ready to trade higher. So let me go through this, because I was actually eventually just looking at the 15-minute. We got a tap of the level. And then let me see if I go to the 1 minute. Yeah, I already saw that we were making, at least on the 1 minute, a market structure shift. So this was an early indication for me, like, all right, it's by the looks of it, we are shifting here. So on the 5 minute, this was still like a high to take, even though we already also took this high. But eventually I just waited for the 15-minute. Let me see where my exact call was. This is the 15-minute chart, as this was on the 15th of July, gold long to previous week high. And this is the specific 15-minute chart. And when we got the retracement, yeah, that was here. It after that started closing bullishly again. I think it was a 5-minute fair value gap or something like that. Yeah. So this is where I just said, all right, let's just take the long. It tagged this, and it could have still come a little bit lower, but I was like, no problem. We'll just place a stop below the low. We still get enough of an RR out of this trade. So somewhere around here, I just pressed the market button. And then it was around 2.5. Yeah, something like this. Let me get this correctly. Can I open this? Yeah, 2.69. Yeah, so it was around this. And this was just when I market it in. It wasn't even a fancy entry on the 1 minute. Sometimes I like to do that, and sometimes I'm just like, well, just take it easy. What's also important to note is that we took sell side first. That's what you see a lot of the times, and that's what you want. You want to take some sell side into a discount and then look for the long. And this is eventually, so if you place like a order on this, of course, that's the advantage of using this specific FXReplay tool. Let me see, market buy, yeah. I want to take 1% risk. I just put in like a 100K account, for example. Stop loss, take profit. Yeah, all right, let's go. And here you see all this buy side. Even here they created another buy side liquidity. Came back again into that 15-minute order block, and then they started pushing higher. To eventually, I think it was around New York. Can't remember exactly. Yeah, did a small retracement leg. So of course you can partial on buy side, but in this specific trade, I did not do that. I just took it and that was it. But in hindsight, and this was really good to look at. Let me check. Can I get some sessions on? Yeah, I can. All right, so let me clean this up a bit. Because if you're familiar or at least want to learn more around daily profiles of ICT, this specific day is worth a study. So let me do it like this. That was the target. Let me remove some things. Because this is Asia low. And what do we see? We see an accumulation phase, even manipulating above Asia first and then coming lower, but this is a AMD pattern within the London session. But eventually it became below the Asia low, manipulated, then pushing up higher through London, even pre-market. Then we got a New York OTE retracement leg. What is that? Well, we have a swing low and a swing high. Take your fib. What do we see? Discount. The New York OTE is also a good signature for continuation. So we got a typical accumulation, manipulation lower, then pushing up higher, distribution phase, retracing a little bit, and then pushing up again. So this is AMD X, another distribution phase. So this was super clean and great trade with actually barely no drawdown. Price did not came lower than this specific wick. So this was a really nice trade on gold, but I hope it's clear to you that you cannot just enter on whatever market structure shift or whatever breaker block or whatever PDRA you see. The narrative around it is the most important thing. Are you having the right bias? At least on a higher time frame in this case. I was looking for a daily expansion move. Then I should at least get some 4-hour expansion or at least 4-hour structure in the same direction. So it's important to know where you are in the charts. What is it showing you? What can you look for? So yeah, this was a really great trade. Oh, and besides that, if you want, I think there's also something in the screen, but MyFundedFutures, I'm actually liking their new offer, the starter revamp. I also made a video on it, but please know that with the code 5DUniverse, you get at least 5% discount, but if they're running promos, you always get the best discount with that code that's currently running. So please know that that is definitely something to look into. But of course, if you don't know what you're doing, and if you don't know how to trade futures or whatever, please don't even start. But if you do like that, use the code also on resets, and all the affiliate money is going to charity. So please know that it won't like go anywhere. It goes to there because I think it's important to do those things. So this was the gold trade. I think it's a beautiful daily profile, beautiful example, and it was actually a beautiful Monday. So that sometimes happens, that the Monday is actually a good day. So all right, gang. I hope you like this. Please let me know in the comments if you want me to do more of these breakdowns, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.